Eagle Vision TV.
All right, we are here with Eilert. We had a major celebrity who passed away this weekend, Jimmy Buffett. Most of you would know him for his, people know him for his bar music, essentially. But he was a folk singer. We have a big folk tradition here in the U.S. James Taylor, Carole King, Bob Dylan, and then Jimmy Buffett was in that same company. So you had a story about Buffett. Tell us.
So before I realized, I want to be a teacher, I still don't know if I want to be a teacher or not. But before I became a teacher, I lived for a while down in Gulf Shores, down there. And you can't go anywhere without running into his music. His sister Lucy Buffett has a restaurant called Lulu's down in Gulf Shores. So he's big down there, and I grew up listening to his music. My mother went to Auburn with him, and he dropped out went to Southern Mississippi. But the first time I ever saw him was on the beach in Gulf Shores after the oil spill, and he played for about 2 hours. It was a free concert to generate all.
Was it at the Hangout?
No, it wasn't the Hangout, but that's where our seats on the beach, right? The Hangout. And then he was several miles down the beach, and they had, screens and everything. But it was a free concert on the beach after the oil spill, and it generated millions that weekend for Gulf Shores, in the city of Gulf Shores. And he just was a guy that, just played relaxing music and made you want to go to the beach. And I mean, even if it's like 54 below zero outside, you listen to his music, you still think you're at the beach. Just like, James Taylor music kind of makes you feel happy and stuff. So he passed away it was a very sudden passing away of cancer. And apparently he had it for 4 years and didn't tell anybody. And he was still doing shows and all that and everything. So this is like Elvis dying in the 70s, for the older family members. It's just like you grow up listening to somebody's music. I mean, like we kind of had this conversation when Tom Petty passed away a couple years ago. Like that's somebody that you grew up listening to, and when you're in your 20s, and you're trying to find music, and you're trying to, have like your go-to playlist. And my go-to playlist is Jimmy Buffett.
Did you officiate any games this weekend?
Yeah, I had a blowout Friday night, 60-12.
Where at?
Central. Historic Crump Stadium. And then I grilled out all day Saturday and watched football and listened to Jimmy Buffett in the patio while I was grilling out.
Ceiling unfazed, baby, watch me come alive. Strike like the lightning in my lungs, can't fight it. My love is like a drug, I got fire dancing in my eyes, so bright. Can't help the way I light up every time I strike. Runway, glitter and shades, winning the game every time I play. Misery's gone, heart is turned on, neon. I'm twisting around the stairway straight to all my better days. Looking through rose-colored glasses at all my mistakes. Breaking through the ceiling unfazed. Baby, watch me come alive. Strike like the lightning in my lungs, can't fight it.
Welcome to Eagle Vision for Wednesday, September 6, 2023. I'm Ash, and today's top story highlights our student council with some updates.
Student council applications are due this Friday. You can find the application on the Horn Lake High School website. And we hope if you are interested in student government that you will take a minute to apply. And good luck to everyone who is. Remember, this Friday, September the 8th, by the end of the school day, please have that application completed and submitted.
Once a week, we try to interview someone or a business here in our community to give students insight into career options after high school. Today, Mr. Lewis talks with First Security Bank.
Good morning. We're here with Miss Tracy from First Security Bank, and we're here for another episode of Choose a Career. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us the various careers at a bank. I think most students would say if you work at a bank, you're just going to be a teller, which is the person that stands behind and handles customers firsthand. But there's a whole lot of different careers at a bank.
There are so many different positions at the bank, and people just really wouldn't believe what goes on behind the scenes as much as up front visiting with customers. There are customer service representatives, loan officers. We actually have a trust department within our bank, and we have financial planners. We have data processors. We have, of course, we have human resources, and I'm the marketing officer at First Security Bank.
Okay, so tell us about several of these different, just pick a few. Let's start with loan officer. What does a loan officer do?
Well, actually, a loan officer tends to a lot of daily things, but the biggest thing they do is assist customers with loans, their financial needs, and what they need to purchase items. And one of the really important things they do is they work with customers on their credit and building credit, establishing credit. If they cannot get a loan right off the bat, they will work with them on a program to get them on a track to where they can borrow money eventually. It's a really difficult position because nobody wants to tell anybody no.
Right.
And unfortunately, we do have to tell people no, but
Right.
It's a learning process.
Right.
It is.
Okay, tell us a few of the other positions and what they entail at a bank.
Of course, you spoke about tellers. Tellers have a very, very important job at the bank. It's probably the most important job because they're handling cash.
Right.
They're handling people's money every single day, taking in money, dispersing money, and
they're on the front lines.
They're on the front line. They are the first person you see as you walk in a bank, and their drawers have to balance at the end of the day. And when they don't, it's not a really fun activity trying to get those drawers to balance. My job at the bank is marketing officer, and everywhere you see First Security Bank name on signs, billboards,
concerts,
apparel. We sponsor so many things. Everywhere you see the First Security Bank logo, I've been involved in it in some way.
Okay, and I've never even thought about the marketing angle before, so that's very interesting. Tell us how you got into that job with the bank.
Well, first of all, I did graduate from the University of Mississippi with a degree in business administration.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I was involved in sales. Love outside sales. I did that for many, many years and was selling advertising actually to the bank.
Okay.
And the lady that was in that position was going to be retiring soon, and she asked me every single week when I went to see her when I was going to take her job, when I was going to come to the bank. Well, I wasn't interested in being in the bank. I wasn't a banker.
Right.
I was in sales, and I thought that was going to be totally different. But it's not different. I finally gave in and went to the bank, and instead of selling advertising, I'm actually buying advertising. And I'm promoting the bank every single day. So it is a sales job.
Tell us, for students who might be interested in banking or any of those positions as a career, what do they need education-wise?
I know that we do hire some students.
Mm-hmm.
We bring them in and let them do some interning. So I do know that we do take them under the age of 18 occasionally. A lot of times it's a part of a co-op program with the school. But then when you're in the really real world, you have to have a high school degree.
Okay.
And depending on your degree, will depend on
can
your
move up
placement,
in
your
management.
position. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a degree to move up. You can move up, based on your experience and based on your knowledge. So the bank is wide open for, students with degrees and then those that, not everybody goes on to college.
Right.
And some of our best employees don't have college degrees.
Okay, so you can get your foot in the door with a high school diploma and,
Yes.
and get started.
Definitely.
Can you tell us a little bit about the average salaries in the state of Mississippi, kind of where they would fall on the chart for starting?
An entry-level position is going to be probably minimum wage. And it is also based on the average salary over the state of Mississippi for those different positions. So a teller in Hattiesburg and a teller in Batesville would be comparable.
Okay. How many banks do y'all have in your district, or how many First Security banks are there?
In our area, First Security Bank actually started as Batesville Security Bank in 1952. And over the 70 plus years, we have grown substantially, and we are now in 6 counties. We're in Panola County, Quitman County, Tunica County, Tate County, DeSoto County, and Marshall County. And we have a real presence with 16 full service branches. And we are just about to implement in some of our drive-thrus the interactive teller machines, which is where you will have a person, but you don't have to just use it as an ATM. You can use it as a teller also.
All right, so I'm assuming if students get a job with you guys and choose to move locations where another one of your branches exists, that it's probably a chance that they can move branches if they choose to.
Yes, we actually have employees that have changed branches, especially in DeSoto County. They may start out at our Barton branch and live in Horn Lake.
Right.
And they just need to get their foot in the door somehow. And then, a position may become available and they're able to relocate. So we do have that flexibility, and we do try to accommodate most everyone with their distances from their homes.
Okay. Now, y'all also do a lot of things for the community. Tell us some of the programs y'all have that you service our communities with.
Yes, we do. We do sponsor many events. We are out in the public as much as possible. We try to get our name out there as many places as we can. As you know, there are so many events and activities taking place in 6 counties, so we're really busy with that. Community development is one of the big areas that we focus on at our bank. Belinda Morris is our community development officer, and she is in schools. She is in lots of different locations trying to reach the underbanked, underserved people of those communities so that we can reach out to them and teach them financial needs and go to senior citizen locations and alert them about scams and fraud and the importance of keeping your information safe and private. And in this world, people can get into your computers, they can get into your phones, and they know more about you than you know about yourself.
Right. All right. Well, students, if you are interested in applying to maybe work at First Security, you can drop by any of the branches and just talk to the branch manager, and they can assist you in what to do. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with us today.
Thank you for having us.
This week's feature vocabulary words are bear, befall, and burgeon. Bear, endure an ordeal or difficulty. Befall, of something bad happen to someone. Burgeon, begin to grow or increase rapidly, flourish.
Seniors, you'll have a meeting on September 19th at 6 p.m. about graduation. Make sure you're here at school that night. Make plans now to attend. Teachers, don't forget to fill out the shout-out forms in the workroom and turn them into Mr. Tungett's box. We want to make sure that we continue to encourage our fellow teachers and staff. That's it for today's episode here at Horn Lake. We are better students, always growing and expecting more. Stay tuned for our lunch menus and athletic schedules. We'll see you here tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.
Swear that happy is growing on trees. Chasing cheap thrills, out for the kill. Leaving gold footsteps around me. Colors and lines make me tie-dye. Higher than heaven, I'm in the sky. Call me top shelf, carry myself too well. I'm walking around the stairway straight to all my better days. Looking through rose-colored glasses at all my mistakes. Breaking through the ceiling, unfazed. Baby, watch me come alive, come alive. Strike like the lightning in my lungs, can't fight it. My love is like a drug, I got fire dancing in my eyes, so bright. Can't help the way I light up every time I strike. Runway, glitter and shades, winning the game every time I play. Misery's gone, heart is turned on, neon. I'm twisting around the stairway straight to all my better days. Looking through rose-colored glasses at all my mistakes. Breaking through the ceiling, unfazed. Baby, watch me come alive, come alive. Strike like the